to go over the questions that at least 50% of us in this 6th grade class missed. So the first one says, Carolina planted seeds in a box that measured 7/8 meters long and 3/5 meters wide. What is the area of the garden box? Okay, so we have a box, so we have a rectangle. Alright, the length is 7/8 meters, and the width is 3/5. And it really doesn't matter which one's 3/5 and which one is the 7/8. So to find the area, we do our length times the width. So we're going to do 7/8 times 3/5. So 7 times 3 is 21. And 8 times 5 is 40. And we can't simplify it because nothing will go into 21 and 40. So our answer is 21/40. Okay, for this question, it says, Elora will draw a rectangle with an area of 25 square inches. Which set of measurements can Elora use? So we have a rectangle. And remember, to find the area of a rectangle, we do length times width. So we need to know what number can you times by another number to get the 25 square inches. So we would need to work each of these out. So the first one, 5.5 times 5. Well, I could work it out and go ahead and change the 5.5 to an improper fraction, but I know that 5 times 5 is 25. So if you had that extra half, okay, even if you multiplied it by 5 as well, you would still get more than 25. So on the next one here, we have 5 3/4 and 4 3/4. So I'm not sure about that one. So 5 3/4 times 4 3/4. So anytime you're doing operations with fractions, you need to go ahead and change any mixed numbers to improper fractions before you do whatever operation it's asking you to do. So to change this to an improper fraction, we do 5 times 4 is 20, plus 3 is 23, and the denominator stays the same. Bring down my times sign. 4 times 4 is 12, plus 3 is 15. So it's 15/4. Okay, so now I'm just going to multiply 23 times 15. Now I did say that you could use a calculator on this assignment, so if you do that, that's fine. So 23 times 15, 5 times 3 is 15, 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Add your 0. We used to call that, because it's X's and O's, we used to call it hugs and kisses. And we multiply them. 1 times 3 is 3, 1 times 2 is 2. So then we're going to add those up. So on the bottom right, I would get 5. 1 plus 3 is 4. And 1 plus 2 is 3. So it would be 345 on the top. And then the bottom would be 4 times 4 is 16. So I would certainly use a calculator for this if I were you. And do 345 divided by 16. So when you do that, you get 21 point, a whole bunch of decimals, 5, 6, 2, 5. Okay, which is not the 25 that we were looking for. Okay, so we know it's not A and it's not B. So next we have 12.5. And you can write that as a fraction, 12 1/5, or you could change it to a decimal. And since it's a half, it would be 0.5. So it could be 12.5. So you could do that on your calculator as well. And we're just timesing it by the width of 2. So if I was going to change this to an improper fraction, 2 times 12 is 24, plus 1 is 25, over 2, times 2. And remember, if you multiply by a whole number, you just put a 1 underneath it because it doesn't change the value. Okay? And then we multiply the top. 25 times 2 is 50. 2 times 1 is 2. Then if we do 50 divided by 2, we get 25. So ding, ding, ding. Okay, that is going to be our answer. Okay, this one would help us with the one that we just did. When you're multiplying mixed numbers, okay, the math law is to always, think back of what we did on the last problem, okay, we changed our mixed numbers to those improper fractions by doing times plus. Okay, on this question, the main thing you need to know is that the word product is the answer to a multiplication question. So if you have product, that means you're going to multiply. Okay, so we're going to multiply 4 times p. So we could write 4 times p. Okay, but when we are working with algebra, okay, which is with numbers with letters, okay, we're just going to change that to 4p. Because a number next to a letter automatically means to multiply. Okay, when we're finding the difference between two numbers, the difference means that we are going to subtract. So when you see the word difference, okay, that helps you know that you're going to subtract. Okay, the sum, S-U-M, is the answer to a the sum is the answer to an addition problem. So that means we are going to add the 6 and the x. So 6 plus x, or x plus 6. The quotient is the answer to a division problem. So that means we are going to divide. So it would be y divided by 5, and hopefully we remember that a fraction is the same as a division. So it would be the top was y divided by 5. So that would be our answer. Okay, on this question we're going to do 3 times a number, and then we are going to increase it by 9. So remember we talked about a number next to a letter means to multiply. So you're going to do 3 times a number, and in this case they used h. And then if it is increased, that means we're going to add 9. So it would be D. C, you would be adding the h plus the 9 first, so you would have the sum of a number and 9, and then times it by 3. Okay, this is our last one, and I know a little over 50% got this right, but I still wanted to go over it real quick. So it's 10 less than a number. So you have some number, so let's say we have 50. If I want 10 less than 50, what would that be? 40. Okay, so to do 10 less than the 50, you did 50 minus 10. So since we just inserted the 50 instead of n, it's just going to be n, so some number, okay, minus 10. And that shows 10 is less than that number. 10 less than that number. Okay, so remember product, okay, is the answer to a multiplication problem. Okay, the quotient is the answer to a division problem. Okay, sum is the answer to an addition. I think I said that right. I wrote it correctly. And then difference is when we subtract. Okay, so I hope that helps. Thanks. Let me know if you have any questions.